Well, they said Monday. Tomorrow is Monday. Let's wait and see if the president will be sued. But before then, let's get into the conversation. Tonight, I have a panel in the studio, very esteemed guest tonight on the program. I have the Director General of the media of the Coalition for Nigeria Movement, Mr. Akin Oshuntoku, a former presidential advisor. Thank you so much for coming on the program. And also a lawyer, political analyst, Mr. Curtis Adigba, the DG of Nigeria First Group and the former national chairman of YDP, Mr. Inya Etoke Ezekiel. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
So much.
Let's begin the conversation. It's about the future of Nigeria, perhaps an immediate political future of this country. Who leads Nigeria in 2019? Let's begin with you, Mr. Akin Oshuntoku. The former president has said, look, democracy is about change. If you're not satisfied, then you move to change the status quo. Do you think that, as it stands now, the clamor for President Muhammadu Buhari to run in 2019 is something that is convincing to some Nigerians?
Well, I mean, you always find a group of people who hold that kind of view that the president should come back, should contest and be back. Some are sincere, many are not. The situation we find ourselves in, goes beyond the routine of democratic change. We're in the realm of crisis, political crisis, not just the observance of election. Just one aspect of the shortcomings of President Buhari is enough criteria for him not to seek re-election, and that is his health. Right? I don't know if there is any precedent in the world where any president, the president of any country, has spent over 100 days in the hospital, leaving his desk, for a foreign land. So that alone is sufficient for him to, if he wants to let's forget about the incompetencies, the failures and shortcomings. Look, there's no day now that you open the papers that you will not see one incident or the other across the country, whether you heard that the herdsmen are overrunning a Akure Secretariat or something ridiculous, scandalous, as we speak today, right? The question I would like to ask one of his supporters is that, why is it that he has not visited Benue State? He went to Nasarawa State. What is the logic? Just explain it, the reason you can adduce for the president of a country witnessing what we saw happen in Benue State on January 1st, 73 corpses, being paraded on the air, laid in buried. And the president of this country, Abuja to Benue, is less than 15 minutes by chopper. So what kind of president is it that has not deemed it fit, right, to go to that state to show sympathy?
You are spokesperson for the Coalition for Nigeria Movement, a movement that was muted, the idea muted by former President Olusegun Obasanjo. And at some point, is muted the idea of from late President Yar'Adua to become president. Also, he perhaps has the idea of the former President Goodluck Jonathan becoming president. He also supported, he was a very big supporter of President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. Now, this idea of your movement and perhaps what is on the ground now, should Nigeria even listen to a movement of yours in this line? Because what exactly do you think Nigeria should believe in a movement such as the Coalition for Nigeria Movement?
Listen, the coalition is an offshoot of a statement issued by President Obasanjo. There is nothing in that statement that majority of Nigerians have not said. I've read 3 or 4 editorials from Punch in the past 1 year that if you remove the name of that, it could pass for a statement. So there is nothing there was nothing he said that people have. The only thing that he did was to lend the weight of his voice to what everybody is saying. So to that extent, there's nothing unique in that. But beyond that, You know, he went further to say now he's prepared to go further and lend the weight of his influence to forming a movement, a coalition targeted at the younger generation, which has been a dormant pool that has not been well tapped into the political, active political system. 65% of the Nigerian population is the youth segment, and it has remained really vastly untapped. And the reason is that there has been a vacuum in leadership succession and recruitment, political leadership in Nigeria, occasioned by protracted period of military rule. It is a political party system that performs that role and function, out of generating successors, that was generating successors to political actors. You will see at 1966, to make the point very well, you will see that it was those people in 1966, the same political actors, the politicians who were there, that had to come back when the military lifted the ban on politics in 1979. That is a malfunction of a system. It shouldn't be like that. A new generation of actors, political actors, should have been prepared. That is in the normal political system, that's how it functions. But that has not been the case in Nigeria, because the military has probably ruled Nigeria far more than even the democratic rule. So the movement is also primarily targeted at that segment of the Nigerian population.